Hi, I'm my closet. My name is Mark, and I've been sober for 8 months from crack cocaine and crystal meth. And I started using around 19 years of age. I basically started using drugs in the club scene, and from there I just started using it on my own in my own free time. Additionally, it was cocaine, which evolved into crack cocaine, but the most addictive drug was crystal meth, and it got really bad, really intense. I think I used the drugs to mask a lot of the situations I was dealing with and a lot of pain that I had from things in my past and just things that were going on with me internally. And eventually it became too much, and I got to the point where I was in the emergency room almost every other day. For my heart was beating too fast, and I had to be monitored, and I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't eating, I wasn't taking care of myself. So I told myself that I had to make a choice, and I chose to stop using. I started going to a program called Citywide, which is now Home Health, and I've been with them for about 2 years. Initially, when I started going there, I wanted to get clean, but I wasn't really ready. It's kind of a choice. You have to want to do it. You have to make up your mind and figure out a plan. So in the past 8 months, I've stayed clean, and I've been able to do that by trying to focus more on myself and goals that I have for myself and who I want to be and where I want to be. And now I feel a lot better. I've learned how to manage dealing with life on my own and not depending on drugs to do so. And that's it.
What advice would you offer someone who is contemplating getting sober?
Really think it through. And I say that because some people say that they want it and they start taking the steps, but they eventually relapse, which is normal. But if you're serious about it, you have to make the commitment, and you have to do the work, and you have to stay on top of yourself. You know, there's times where I go through something or I get distressed, and it runs through my mind, I wish I could take a hit, or I wish I could just go out and get high. But then I think back to when I was in that situation, how I felt, the things I do, and this is not the kind of lifestyle that I want to live, because I see more for myself. So you have to really sit with yourself, and it helps to have great support from like family and friends and people who really care about you. And but most importantly, it has to be from you. You have to want it bad enough for yourself.
So you mentioned that crystal meth was something that you engage in. It's a common drug used among gay males. How did that personally affect you as far as the choices you made and the circumstances in which it placed you in?
I was gone. When I say gone, I mean my thinking process was just not there. I would do anything and everything for the drug. I would sell stuff. I would escort. Any way I could get it, I would get it. So, I've robbed people to get money to go get high. And, looking back, it wasn't something that I would do in my normal day-to-day, but under the influence of crystal meth, it takes you there. And it's a very it's scary, like, for me to even think about it, because I can never go back to that. I can never go back to that place that I was in. It's terrible. It alters everything. You know, you don't sleep for days, weeks at a time. You don't eat, you know, and it basically breaks your body down. And, you know, it's terrible. It's really bad. Yeah.
How do you feel having sobriety now?
Oh, I feel great. I feel great. Like, you know, I love to be able to tell people, like, yeah, you know, like, I have 8 months, like, and say that, knowing that I have 8 months. Like, some people say, oh, I have this much time, but they know realistically they still have been dipping and dabbing. But I made the commitment that I was done, you know, of living that kind of life, and I've stuck to it. And I didn't do NA, I didn't do, you know, groups or programs. I did it on my own, and you know, not everybody's able to do that, but that's the road that I took, because I felt that I had enough strength for myself that I could do it on my own, you know, and not have to go through the process, which, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad process, but I just had that willpower, and, you know, I love, my body looks good, and my face is clear, and, you know, and I take pride in that. You know, I take pride in how I look. Before, I wasn't like that. I'd be all bummy and I wouldn't care because I just wanted to fix. But now, I like to look good, you know.
How are some ways that you solve problems? I know before you were resorting to drug use. How are some ways that you deal with having, you know, life happen?
Now? Music is always, first and foremost, besides God, my outlet for everything. So, you know, all the songs that are in my phone is like the soundtrack of my life. So whenever I'm in a mood, I just go to a song, or I call my grandmother and talk to her, or my best friend, or other people that I know that are there to support me. You know, I post on Facebook a lot, and I get feedback from people, and that helps me too, because it shows me that, you know, either there's people that are feeling the same way that can give me their advice, or they're just people that I may not even know that well that are there to show me that support. And I think that's important. You know, support is an important thing for people to have, because it lets you, it gives you a feeling that you're not alone, and that you don't have to deal with stuff by yourself. And I just use my clear judgment, you know, I evaluate situations a lot better, you know, like what's really important, what's really not important, or, you know, what is worth my time and what's not worth my time.
All right, Marky, thank you for riding out with us. Say peace out.
Deuces.